I'm 83 years old, and I'm happier than I've ever been in my entire life. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I must be confused, or lucky, or maybe a little bit senile, because everything you've heard about getting old is that it's something to dread, something to fight, something to fear. I'm here to tell you something different. My husband, Harold, God rest him, he spent the last 20 years of his life terrified of getting old, fought every gray hair, argued with every doctor, refused to slow down even when his body was begging him to stop. He was so busy being afraid of what was coming that he forgot to live what was here. I watched the fear eat him up from the inside. And when he passed 6 years ago, I made myself a promise. I was going to do this differently. Maybe you're afraid too. Maybe you're watching your parents age, or feeling those first aches in your own body and wondering what's waiting for you. I understand. I was afraid once, but I'm not anymore. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a philosopher. I'm just a retired school teacher who's lived long enough to learn the difference between suffering and struggle, between fighting your life and living it. And I want to tell you what nobody told me. First thing, your body is going to hurt. Every single day, something hurts. My knees when I wake up, my back when I bend down, my hands when the weather turns cold. Some days it's my hip, some days it's my shoulder. And here's the strange blessing nobody mentions. If it's something different every day, you're lucky. That means nothing's broken beyond repair yet. You're just aging. I used to wake up and take inventory of the pain. What's wrong today? What's failing? Now I wake up, I notice it, and I say good morning to it like an old friend I don't particularly like, but have learned to live with. You don't have to enjoy it, but you can stop being surprised by it. You can stop treating every ache like a tragedy. Pain is just your body's way of saying, I'm still here. I'm still trying. Second thing, you're going to get tired. Tired in a way you've never been tired before. Not the tiredness of a long day's work, that kind you can sleep off. This is a tiredness that lives in your bones, and you're going to need rest, real rest. I take a nap almost every afternoon now. 1 o'clock, I'm in my chair by the window with a blanket over my knees, and I let myself drift off. For years, I thought that was giving up. Lazy. Harold thought so too. He'd push through exhaustion like it was a weakness to conquer, refused to sit down, refused to stop. It didn't make him stronger, it just made him bitter. Your body has earned the right to be tired. You've been using it for decades, 60, 70, 80 years of carrying you through this world. Let it rest. That's not weakness. That's respect. Third thing, things are going to break that can't be fixed. This is the hard one. When you're young, you get sick. You get better. Something breaks. It heals. But there comes a point, and I can't tell you exactly when, where some things just don't come back. My hearing isn't what it was. My eyesight needs help. I've got a pill organizer on my kitchen counter with little compartments for every day of the week. And every single compartment has something in it. Blood pressure, vitamins, a little white pill for my bones. I used to hate looking at that thing. Felt like a countdown. Now I look at it and think, this is how I stay here. This is how I get another day with my grandchildren, another morning with my tea, another sunset. At this age, management is victory. You're not trying to win anymore. You're trying to stay in the game. Fourth thing, And this is the one that changes everything. If you've spent your life learning how to get along with your own emotions, how to sit with sadness, how to let go of anger, how to forgive yourself and others, then getting old is your reward. I mean that. My relationships with my children now are deeper than they've ever been. My daughter calls me twice a week just to talk. My son, who I butted heads with for 30 years, he came over last month and thanked me, just thanked me for being his mother, for not giving up on him. My granddaughter, she's 17, and she asks me questions about life that she'd never ask her parents. Real questions, hard questions. And I get to sit with her and tell her what I've learned. Not because I have all the answers, but because I've lived long enough to know which questions matter. This is the part nobody tells you about getting old. If you've done the work, the inner work, these years are rich. They're full, not despite your age, because of it. Fifth thing, gratitude stops being something you practice and starts being something you feel. I wake up every morning grateful, not because I try to, because how could I not? I'm 83. I've buried friends. I've buried my husband. I know how easily this could all be gone. And if you worked hard, if you were careful, if you didn't spend everything you earned trying to impress people who didn't matter, you get to feel secure. You get to feel at ease. You get to stop worrying about money and start thinking about what actually matters. I wouldn't be young again for all the money in the world. And I mean that. Because when I was young, I made myself suffer. I worried about everything. I couldn't relax, couldn't sit still, couldn't just be happy with a cup of tea and a quiet morning. I was always chasing something, running from something, trying to prove something. Now I sit on my porch with my same cup, same tea, same chair, and I feel something I never felt when I was young. Peace. I think about Harold a lot. Not with sadness anymore, with tenderness. He was so afraid of this, so afraid of getting old, of slowing down, of becoming less than he was. And I understand that fear. I do, but I wish I could tell him what I know now, that this isn't the end of anything. It's just different, quieter, softer. And if you stop fighting it long enough to look around, it's actually quite beautiful. I carry him with me every day, in the way I take my tea, in the chair that was his chair first, and I'm not afraid anymore. So if you're out there dreading getting old, if you're watching the years pass and feeling that fear build in your chest, I want to give you permission to stop. You're going to hurt. You're going to slow down. Things are going to change in ways you can't control, but you can control how you meet it. You can control whether you spend these years fighting or living, suffering or growing, being afraid or being grateful. The choice is yours. It was always yours. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're grateful for today? Just one. Put it in the comments. Sometimes saying it out loud is how it becomes real. I read every single one. At my age, I've got nothing but time. And listen, my granddaughter set this whole thing up for me. She said, "Grandma, if people want to hear more from you, they need to hit that subscribe button so they know when you're back." I don't fully understand how all this works, but I know this. I've got 83 years of lessons sitting in this head, and I'm not done sharing them yet. So if you want to come back and sit with me again, do whatever you need to do to make that happen. One more thing. If someone came to your mind while you were listening to this, a parent, a friend, someone who's getting older and may be struggling with it, send this to them. Don't just think about it. Actually do it. Sometimes the thing people need most is to know they're not alone. And you can give them that right now with one little tap. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's almost 1 o'clock. I've got a chair by the window and a blanket with my name on it. Take care of yourselves and call your mother.